Hello and welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. This is my Eurovision 2025 semi-final 2 qualifier prediction. Please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell and like, share and comment below. And here we have my second hiding to nothing of the week, and if anything this semi-final is even harder to predict than my semi-final 1 prediction, which if you want to have a look at that, if you haven't looked at that already, hopefully you're able to see it in that corner there. I think there's a whole bunch of these that could to go either way in terms of qualification. Now, if we just have a quick look again at the running order, this does include the automatic qualifiers in this running order, but I'm not going to be covering them in this because this is about who's going to qualify. So as you can see, we have 16 at this time rather than 15. The same caveats that I had applied to my first semi-final predictions apply here. Only had the short snippets to go from, plus still images as well. Now I'm recording this while the evening dress rehearsal of the first semi-final is taking place. So I've got no additional clues kind of how the audience are finding the state, even though it's a different set of songs, but just the how they're reacting, kind of how things are coming across on stage, or and obviously this is before the semi-final 1 qualifiers of actual shows taking place, so again no clue to which way the audience might be going in terms of the songs they like. So yes, this is all still very much going from those tiny snippets and kind of all those different things that we've seen before. Now, I think, again, there are a number of countries where this is a very safe bet to expect to qualify. And what I'll do is, again, I will put up qualifiers, what will be on the right-hand side. And also, when we go to the non-qualifiers, they will be on the left-hand side. So let's go through those very likely or certain qualifiers, although you can never rule anything out, of course. So first up, we have Austria. Second favourite with the bookies, top of the Eurovision scoreboard app, favourite to win in the bookies for the jury win, and with some very daring, perhaps risky staging, I think this probably seems nailed on to qualify for the grand final. Second up, we have Malta. Big fan favourite, of course, has had lots of publicity outside the contest bubble in the weeks running up to this. It's a very televote friendly song, and I think it means we'll all be shouting, well, you know what we'll be shouting in the grand final for sure. Third up, that I think is certain to qualify, Israel, guaranteed a really big public vote. That will be in the grand final. And lastly, well, you're seeing her again, Finland, another big fan favourite. Erika's rehearsal, I think, showed it's going to be a very memorable performance. And of course, she's closing semi-final 2 as well, so a particularly memorable ending. Now moving on to kind of the likely qualifiers. These are, again, songs I'm expecting to qualify. They should qualify, but maybe with 1 or 2 caveats or just some slight uncertainty at this stage. 4 more songs here. So we have Australia. There's the show opener. It's going to be memorable, both the song and also the staging, and there's going to be costume changes, apparently 3 costume changes or 3 different costumes. The only doubts I have about this, or any concerns really, are Australia does not have a great record with the televote, although that tends to manifest itself in the grand final rather than in the semi-final. And also his live vocal, maybe not be the best, but again, televote, that's not so important. So I'm expecting this to be in the grand final. Next up, Greece. Now this has weakened or dropped in the odds somewhat, or as the staging from what we've seen does seem a little bit static in terms of her placing and movement. But I think the Greek diaspora are behind this, and it's a very classy ballad that should get it over the line. Talking of diasporas, I think the diaspora of the next country will help, Lithuania. The Lithuanian diaspora is often strong, and I think they probably will be out for this atypical song, or atypical for the contest. I think the main risk here it's possibly if not enough fans of this sort of genre show up to vote. I think it's important that they vote to make sure that it gets through. And last in this bunch of the likely qualifiers, we have Czechia. Excellent song, staging's looking very professional, as we come to expect. The Czech delegation, just a little niggle maybe that perhaps his look won't be to everyone's taste, and maybe the song may not stand out quite enough against some of all the other songs that we've got in the show in that semi-final. But I think these four, I'm probably feeling reasonably confident that they will go through. I'm probably most confident about Australia and probably Czechia, Lithuania, and then Greece in that order, if I was to put it into an order. Let's cover a couple of the non-qualifiers now. Now, if you watched my semi-final one video, I had a couple of songs that I thought were probably not likely to qualify, but I didn't think there was any songs that were definitely not qualifying. I feel a bit more certain that these two songs will be non-qualifiers, and more certain than I was of the ones from semi-final one. Montenegro, on their return to the contest, sadly, very classy song, powerfully sung, but the running order kills this, and there's so many other memorable songs later. It's just not going to be memorable, stand out enough, I think. And the other one is Georgia. It's widely considered the least likely song of any of this year's songs to qualify. But she does have a strong live vocal and seems to be very committed to it. And I think some of the lighting and the staging is probably quite impressive. But I don't think that's going to be anywhere near enough to get this through to the final. So that is 8 qualifiers identified, 2 non-qualifiers also identified, and therefore we've got 6 countries competing for those last 2 places. Now, to go with what was announced today, the show producers are doing a new way of presenting qualifiers, that they're going to do rounds of 3, showing 3 contestants up on screen. Only one of them gets to go through, gets to qualify. Obviously, some artists will be shown more than once, and then for the last final qualifier, they will just announce that. Lots of hoo-ha about that, but let's see how it works. But anyway, let's try it with these 6. So I'm going to split these into 2 groups of 3 and pick the qualifier. So in the first bunch, I'm doing Denmark, Ireland, and Luxembourg. Denmark. Now, while both I and much of the fandom are willing Sissal on, even she, I don't think, can overcome that very short time between winning the Danish national final and the staging concepts having to go into the EBU for the actual contest. The continued issue, and plus we have the continued issues around that delegation and their just experience and their application. So while I think many people will be willing Sissal on, I just don't think the package overall is going to be enough for her to qualify, sadly. So it's looking like a non-qualification. I think it's a bit of a toss-up between Ireland and Luxembourg, and I think it may be that Ireland just misses out. The running order position in particular is one of the worst. They're in the 3rd in the running order. That, along with the 2nd place, have the 2 worst qualification records. And I just also think it might just be, although I think this also a source of its appeal, but I think it just might be a bit too childish or junior Eurovision-like for some. And therefore, I think it is Luxembourg out of those 3 that will qualify. I think the staging is looking pretty quality on this. Again, from what we've seen, it conveys the nostalgic feel of the song, but also tells that modernisation tale that it's trying to do. It looks good, it sounds good, it's catchy. I do think this is going to make it, although I do reserve the right not to be shocked if suddenly it was not to make it to the grand final. And then we have the last 3, Latvia, Armenia and Serbia. Super difficult to call this one. So let's look at Armenia first. Now, the fact that this is within a shout to qualify, I think, is testament to Parg's commitment, plus him stripping down to the waist and running along in his performance. For the clips we've seen, it doesn't harm that at all. There is some effort going on with this staging, and Armenia does have voting allies. They have France, Georgia, Greece are all in this semi-final. I think Armenia, of all the 3 Caucasus countries, are the most likely to qualify this year. But I think this is just going to fall short of that. at this stage. Serbia, never rule Serbia out. They've never finished lower than 11th, so even when they've not qualified, they've still finished 11th and just outside the qualification places. They've really elevated perhaps one of their most ordinary songs they've ever sung in terms of the staging. Prince is also a really good singer, live singer. Being pulled across the stage floor by his dancers is certainly a different look. Does that work? Is it a moment? I'm not sure. Again, from what we've seen, don't know. We may know more. We'll know more once the rehearsals happen. But I think despite the very good running order that this has got, for once Serbia's got a good running order, I think this is going to be a non-qualifier after all. But if it's but I think it will qualify in 11th. It will not qualify in 11th place again. I still think it's going to finish kind of high up out of the non-qualifiers. And so we have Latvia. Now this might be wishful thinking on my part, but I think this is just so, from the clips. This is so visually stunning, so stunning, and it's so different. It's in a really good running order position. 4th in the running order, has a 90% qualification rate. It's a very, very good place to be. And I both think and I'm hopeful, both at the same time, that they will get back-to-back qualifications for Latvia after all those years, many years of not qualifying. But it's all very tight. Betting odd-wise, like in the first semi-final, I'm just out by 1 in terms of 1 difference between myself and what the betting odds are currently saying at this stage. The odds of Serbia qualifying, as you can see, but it's by a hair's breadth over Ireland. Latvia is a little bit further down, but that's the next song down after Ireland. But it has been rising, and whether or not the question, can it rise enough, we'll find out very soon, the next couple of days. Also in the description of this video on YouTube, you can find a link to the running order, summary, so a little clip of all the music videos of all the songs in this semi-final, including the automatic qualifiers. And you can always take a look on my website as well, www.mattloveseurovision.com. So we're almost there. I'll be excitedly watching the first semi-final tomorrow evening, tomorrow as I record this, but this will be coming out on the day of semi-final 1, slightly confusingly. But I'll be back on both hopefully Wednesday and then on Friday with kind of my review, recap of the 2 semi-finals and how they went, any surprises. And if you're lucky, and if I'm lucky, I might be able to squeeze in a grand final preview as well, but that depends on when they put the running order out, because I need to catch a train to London on the Friday afternoon. I need to get it all recorded, edited, and uploaded before then. Anyway, do hope you have a fantastic time watching the shows wherever you are, whether you're in Basel or if you're watching it with friends, or if you're at work and sneaking a watch online. Wherever you are, do enjoy it, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.